Well, I mean, the performance of the stock has obviously been disappointing, right? And we care about our shareholders. And the commitment that we made is that we're going to execute this mission of making the world more open and connected, and we're going to do the things that we think are going to build value over the long term. And over the next 3 to 5 years, I think the biggest question that is on everyone's minds that will determine at least our performance over that period is really going to be how well we do with mobile. And we've been in this quiet period for the last 6 months or so, since right up to the time when we were getting started with the IPO, and a lot of stuff has changed since then. I mean, 6 months ago on mobile, we hadn't launched our new set of apps, right? So we were still in a pretty bad place there. Apple hadn't announced the iOS integration. Literally 6 months ago, we didn't run a single ad on mobile. I think it's easy for a lot of folks, without us being out there talking about the stuff that we're doing, to really underestimate how fundamentally good mobile is for us. And that's one of the main things that this is the first time that I've really spoken since the IPO publicly, and it's one of the main things that I think is misunderstood right now is how fundamentally good it is on a bunch of different levels. So I mean, the first is there are more users, right? Obviously. The second is that per person who's using Facebook on mobile, there's more engagement and they're spending more time. And then the third is that per amount of time that people spend on mobile, we think that we're going to make a lot more money than we do on desktop too. I personally, this is maybe a perverse thing personally, but I would rather be in this cycle where people underestimate us, because I just personally would rather be underestimated. I think it gives us good latitude to go out and take some big bets and do some things that really excite and amaze people. But
are people underestimating Facebook right now, do you think? Are you in that cycle?
I think a bunch of people are. It's hard for me to say overall. But over the long term, I think that there's a huge amount of interesting stuff that we're working on. There are all these long-term projects that I can't really get into right now, but that we are retooling to work on, and we're about halfway through that cycle. And I mean, that's the stuff that keeps me going. I just want to build good stuff. When we look back 10, 20 years from now, the legacy of this company should be that we've connected everyone in the world, and that everyone can share all the stuff that they want. That's a lot, and that's a lot to get excited about, whether it's fun, exciting, whatever. I mean, some days are hard, some days kick ass, but I think everyone is amped for what we're doing.